What's up, everyone? And today I'm bringing you a deck profile on my Infinitracks. Now, Infinitracks is probably, I wouldn't say it's my favorite deck, but it's definitely one of my favorite decks. And I was really excited for this deck in Master of 5 because this deck is a lot more powerful than people think, and I'll show you why. But before we get into the deck profile, I just want to mention a reminder for you to vote for which deck you'd like me to do a deck profile on this month. The deck with the most votes I will do a deck profile on, and who knows, maybe some of the runner-ups will also get a deck profile. That kind of depends. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Now first up, I run 3 Infinitrack Harvester. Harvester is your search of the deck. When it's normal or special summoned, you can add 1 Infinitrack monster from your deck to your hand. This one and Anger Drill both have an effect to where you can take this card and another machine monster you control, and you can combine the levels. So let's say you have a level 5 and Harvester, you can make both of them come a level 7. So it makes like a XC summon very easy. So you can, in this deck, you can really bring out all the good XCs. Dingirsu, True King, Infinity, you can bring them all out. So this deck's very powerful. Next, I run 3 Anchor Drill. In my opinion, Anchor Drill is easily better than Harvester. This is the card you want to see every single time. Because when it's normal special summon, you can special summon 1 Earth Machine monster from your hand in defense position. And like Harvester, you can take 2 machine monsters and combine their levels. So let's say you have this one in a level 5, boom, instant True King of all calamities. Or let's say you have a level 4 machine, boom, instant Dingirsu. So yeah, Anchor Drill is easily the best card in the deck, in my opinion. Next, I run 3 Infinitrack Trencher. This is the best level 5 in my opinion. While Anchor Drill is like the best starter, like a non-level 5 Infinitrack monster, Trencher is the best level 5 Infinitrack monster. Because you can bash this card from your graveyard to special summon 1 Infinitrack monster from your grave. So this is really good for extending. Next, I run 2 Infinitrack Crab Crane. Crab Crane, you can bash this card from your graveyard to add 1 Outrigger Extension from your deck to your hand. And one thing I also forgot to mention with Trencher is that you can bring these to the field pretty easily because you can special summon it by tributing 1 machine monster. So let's say you have Trencher out there, you can tribute it to summon Crab Crane, then activate Trencher's effect. So they really can combo into each other. Next, I run 3 Infinitrack Drag Shovel. Its effect really isn't all that important because you can bash it to add 1 spin turn, which I do not play. I don't really like spin turn. It's just not really that great of a card, but Drag Shovel is still a level 5 that you can use. I run 3 Infinitrack Brutal Dozer. I say this comes in second only to Trencher. In a way, this is better than Trencher, but it does have 1 downside, which isn't too much of a downside. Brutal Dozer, when you summon it, you can also special summon 1 Infinitrack monster from your deck, but negate its effects. That is good, but however, that locks you into Earth Machine for the rest of the turn. So no Dingirsu, no True King, no Nova. So that's why I always like to get that stuff out first, and then use Brutal Dozer, because after Dingirsu, True Kings, and Nova, it doesn't really matter, because after that point you're just going to be going into Infinitrack XC monsters. Now next, I run 1 Infinitrack Tunneler. This is essentially a pot of avarice. When you can target 5 Earth Machine monsters in your graveyard, shuffle them to the deck, then draw 2. It doesn't really get used too often, but sometimes in later games you can use it to get some more draw power, but you don't really need it too much. That's it for the Infinitrack monsters. Next, I run 3 Ancient Gear Wyvern and 1 Ancient Gear Box. This kind of helps set up the Infinitracks. The best possible scenario is, say you normal summon Anger Drill and special Wyvern from hand. Then you can search any of your Infinitrack monsters from deck to hand, because Ancient Gear Wyvern, when it's normal special summon, you can add 1 Ancient Gear monster from your deck to your hand, and when Ancient Gear Box is added from your deck to your hand, except by drawing, you can add 1 Earth Machine type monster with 500 attack and or defense. So that could search you Anchor Drill, that could search you Tunneler, Trencher, basically pretty much all of them except Drag Shovel and Brutal Dozer. So a really good search, and you can just tribute it to someone. The Infinitrack, let's say you search Trencher, you can tribute Wyvern to Special Trencher. So summoning it has no negative because you can just tribute it away. Next, I run True King Lithosagem, the Disaster. Since this is an Earth deck, if you can activate True King Lithosagem, that's just more to you. Considering being able to, you can banish 3 monsters in your opponent's extra deck if you discarded 2 Earth monsters. So yeah, that's gonna really hurt your opponents. It's basically just a tech card I threw in there, just kind of hurt my opponent, because banishing cards from their extra deck before they're even played, that can kill some decks. So yeah, you definitely want that. Now next is the card that, personally in my opinion, actually we got some really good support recently. Or maybe not recently, I think it came out in, what was it? Dual Overload, maybe? Somewhere around there. Heavy Forward is their searcher for the deck, much like Harvester. Because when it's activated, you can add 1 Infinitrack monster from your deck to your hand. This is a continuous, by the way. And you can target 1 machine XYZ monster you control. You can either activate one of these effects, attach it to this card as material, or change its battle position. Mainly you want it for the searcher, and then when you XZ a machine monster, you can just attach it to it as material. So it can even get itself off the field, so that's really good. Next, I run the 1 Outrigger Extension. Outrigger Extension is essentially a rank up, although it does give your monsters protection. They cannot be targeted. Your opponent cannot target machine XYZ monsters you control with card effects, so you got some protections. And you can target 1 Infinitrack XYZ monster you control, special summon from your extra deck 1 machine monster that is 2 ranks higher than that. So yeah, this is pretty good for ranking up your XYZ Infinitrack monsters. Rank up Magic Astral Force, which I run 3 of. Same reason as Outrigger Extension, you want to rank up into your Earth Slicer as quickly as you can. Although sometimes you may not even need to use them. It's just in here just in case you do. Next, it's a machine-based deck. 3, Machine Duplication. Most of the Machine Infinitracks are... Now, Machine Duplication only works with 2 monsters in this deck. Trencher and Harvester. Both are pretty good. If you can get 5 Trenchers on the field, that's really good, because Trencher's one you kind of have most often. So yeah, Machine Duplication, 3 of. Easy. Next, I run 2 Limiter Removal. It's a machine-based deck, and sometimes it can get to pretty high attacks, so this can help with OTKing and basically in your already big, powerful Infinitrack XYZs to be much bigger. Next, I run 2 Magical Mallets. Now, this might be confusing you, because, not a lot of people play Magical Mallets. However, one thing I noticed in this deck, there are certain cards you want to see first, especially Anchor Drill. Because Anchor Drill is basically the card you want to start out with. If you have, say, Anchor Drill and Wyvern or any other level 5 Infinitrack monster, that's an instant True King. And True King is very important because this deck isn't going to start off very high. Like, it usually takes maybe a turn to kind of get itself going and to get into those monsters safely. So that's why I use True King of All Calamity to kind of help give me that 1 turn I need And if you have a Wyvern, you can also go into Dingirsu if you want to. So you definitely want to see this card in your opening hand more than anything. So that's why I run 2 Magical Mallet. Let's say I brick, because sometimes you can brick with this deck because you do have a bunch of level 5s. And let's say you don't draw a Wyvern, Harvester, Box, or Anchor Drill, you're stuck. So, like, originally I actually did take this card out, and it didn't go too well, so I just added it right back in. So, yeah, you want to run 2 Magical Mallet. I also run 1 Monster Reborn, it's an extender, and 1 Upstart Goblin. That rounds out the spells. Moving on to the traps, I have 3 Infinite Impermanence. Don't really need to explain that. Now moving on to the extra deck. I play 2 River Stormer. This is also a searcher for the Infinitracks. Now all the Infinitracks have an effect when they destroy a opponent's monster by battle. It can absorb it as material. And you can also tribute 1 machine link monster, special summon this card in defense position. And one good thing about it is that Link monster, you don't have to be the one controlling it. You can use your opponents, as far as I know. Because it says if this card is in your graveyard, you trigger one machine Link monster, special summon this card in defense position. Well, that may not be, I don't think there's any, like, machine Link monsters that people are generically using, maybe aside from, like, Barricade Board Blocker. That's really all I can think of. Maybe Union Carrier. Next, I run 3 Mountain Smasher. Mountain Smasher is easily the weakest of the Infinitrack XYZ because all it does is gain attack. But you need it to go into your biggest Infinitrack XYZ monster, and that is Earth Slicer. Now, Earth Slicer can detach any number of materials it can any number of materials it has, and destroy that many cards on the field. And all the Infinitrack XYZ monsters have the effect to tribute a Link machine monster, special summon it, and if it destroys the opponent's monster by battle, it can absorb it. Next, I run 1 Nova and 1 Infinity. Since you do run a lot of level 5 machines, you can get into Nova and into Infinity pretty easy. I also run 1 Dingirsu for protection, also pretty easy to get into. 1 number 68 Saphond, the Sky Prison. That one can be replaced with Hope Harbinger, my opinion, but I don't have Hope Harbinger, so this is kind of a filling in its place for now. And I run 2 True King of All Calamities. Sometimes you may want to have an extra one just in case, because you got the space. I also run 2 Infinitrack Goliath and 1 Fortress Megaclops. Now Goliath actually activates on the Infinitrack XYZ effect, so to tribute 1 machine Link monster to special summon it. If you do that with Goliath, then Goliath becomes material for that XYZ monster. And Megaclops is just a 4,000 beast stick for the most part. You can do it does have a little bit of a destruction effect, but that's not really I would say that great of an effect. But it's definitely a boss monster if you do want to go into that. But I'd rather just stick to those ones. So that was that for that was my Infinitrack deck profile. What do you think? Do you thought the Infinitracks were pretty good? Yeah, that's really all there is I want to say. See you in the next video I make. Bye.